Hello guys, thank you very much for clicking on the video today. I just wanted to let you know that unfortunately the audio does cut out a few times through the interview. We did consider re-recording it, however I thought it was a very interesting interview and it was a great insight from Jason as well. So we thought we'd keep it authentic and go with the original. I hope it doesn't put you off too much and I hope you enjoy the episode. Hello and welcome to Talking with Talent. My name is Jack Sharkey and this is the show where we speak to people in and around the film industry about their roles, how they got into it and their upcoming projects. So today I'm joined by Jason Farries. How are you doing today, Jason?
Very, very well. How you doing, Jack?
Very well, thank you. Thank you very much for coming on the show today, mate, as well. It's much appreciated. So first off, congratulations are in order. Of course, you've got Inspector Calls and Voodoo Man have both recently one won the award and one's been nominated for an award as well. So let me know if I get this wrong, but I believe that. So you have won the best feature for January from the COSI International Monthly Awards for Inspector Calls.
Yes, that is correct. We were really delighted with that. That is in Slovakia. Inspector Calls were made back in 2017, and it's still receiving some attention here in 2020. So that was incredible news. That was really fantastic.
Yeah, congratulations on that. That is absolutely incredible. And then Voodoo Man, of course, has been nominated for London Independent Film Festivals. You've got a screening in London as well, which we'll come on to later. So that's also very exciting. So congratulations, man. It all seems to be going very, very well for you at the moment.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, thank you.
So, like I said, we are going to definitely focus on Voodoo Man and Inspector Calls as well, a fantastic feature film. But I want to start right at the beginning. So when was the first time that you saw acting as the thing that you want to do and it created that burning passion inside you?
Oh God! I mean, this was back when I was 5. You know, I doing the primary school nativity plays when I realised that this was something that I was passionate about, something that was so fun. But I think it solidified for me when I was about 12 or 13, and after being such a big movie and being so passionate about performing and generally just being a little performer anyway, you know, any opportunity to just express myself was taken. And then when I was about 12 or 13, I realized that it was a legitimate career, and that was when I started focusing on it. So yeah, it's something, I think it's something that's just been within me forever.
Fantastic. And what sort of films inspired you when you were younger?
I was a big fan of the Harry Potter films. Yeah, you know, when you're 10, 11 years old and you're looking at this boy wizard, you very much relate to the character. And I very much related to Daniel Radcliffe, looked at him as a sort of idol as a child. And then as I grew up, started to find more mature tastes. But that I think was the original franchise that got me interested and inspired by it.
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously you are first and foremost an actor. That's your main love. But with projects such as Voodoo Man, you producing, directing, even writing and stuff as well. Was that inspiration there from an early age, or was it mostly the acting and then it sort of inspired and come on from then?
Do you know, it's funny. I'd never thought of myself as a writer or director. It's certainly something that I never ruled it out. But when obviously started to get more into the acting, I had moments in life where opportunities presented themselves, and I think I was just ready to embrace the challenge of it all. So I think the thing that started that or inspired that, if you will, is I was just talking to other filmmakers and people who had made their own films, and you know, it struck a bit of a chord with me. Well, you know, this is something that can be achieved. It's within reach. And then it wasn't until I decided that I wanted to go to film to get a degree in film. That was when I went, you know, I can do both. It's something that comes hand in hand. The career of filmmaking also comes to the career of acting, and vice versa.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I guess there's films such as Good Will Hunting opened a lot of doors for people, and making your own stuff and really encouraging actors to not just sit there and wait for the opportunities and really go out there and get that. So that's what you're doing, which is it's great to see. So going back to the start of your career, what would you say is your first major role, and you remember the feeling of, oh my God, I've got something, and how does that feel, and what was that?
I think in terms of like a first major role that I got, which really was significant to my career and something that started to push me forward, was I played the lead in Dorian Gray, which was an international tour around Italy. That in itself was 6 months of solid work, 2 shows a day, 6 days a week. And I obviously took the lead on that. And that was when I was 21 at the time. So, although I've been doing it for a few years and I'd had some roles, that I think was the game changer. It suddenly put me into a new reign of a new jurisdiction of acting. And suddenly, like, okay, from this point forward, we have to go up.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And so you mentioned if that's a stage, it's a performance, a tour. How do you prepare differently to, say, one of your screen roles for something on stage?
Well, the key difference there is that on stage, you certainly most of the times, typically, you get to rehearse with your cast. It's such a big difference to have that preparation stage done with the people that you're going to be working with. Whereas on film, you have to do all of your preparation independently and come on the day prepared with everything that you need to do. So the difference really is the isolation of it. Everything that you do in film is like, okay, what do I need to do, and how do I have to adapt that on the day of filming? Whereas, performing for stage, it's like, okay, we're going to do this together. We're going to hold hands and we're going to walk out there together. And then if it goes wrong, that's fine. We just keep going. We're a team. We keep up with this. Whereas, again, film, if it goes wrong, we just do it over. We do it over. Yeah. So it's it's a different approach as well as different prep for the genres of film and stage.
Absolutely. So when we met, we were working on Romeo and Juliet and Much Ado About Nothing together, doing an open air tour in the summer. So that was great fun. That brings back a lot of memories talking about the theatre there. With obviously Dorian Gray, so you were doing that 6 months. You've got those lines down perfectly. Does it start to, after a few months, get a bit boring, or do you just find new ways to do it and you inject that energy into it?
That's always an interesting question. I always like it because, yes, you cannot ever say that it does not get boring. 6 months, I think we did near to 200 shows in total. It was a lot, and there are points where you get like early as there's a lack of energy, a lack of motivation, but you push through it anyway. And what makes it interesting is the ability to have those little differences cross up, because no two stages are going to be the same. The bones are the same, the blocking is the same, but things go wrong, things change, inflections change, the way you approach. And then what I found was, started to get bored with it. I suddenly had an epiphany with character and went, I just realized a bit of background information that's context I hadn't realized. So suddenly it was internally more interesting to me, and it might have changed what I did on stage, but that is mainly up for certainly for 6 months, where you start to go, you know what, actually there is something new to be found, and there's always levels to build on. So yeah, although it can get, admittedly, it can get boring, there is always a way to make it interesting.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And so if there was someone out there that was looking to do a tour, they had an offer of a tour, what would be your advice to them?
The biggest advice is really you have to get along with people that you're working with. And you don't always. And being in such a close-knit proximity with people means that tensions can build, and you have to retain a level of professionalism and also patience. most of the time, your acting colleagues are going to be the best people in the world. You're going to love them to pieces. You really are. But then other days, you're going to be like, oh, please, I'm sick of you today. You know, can you just give me 5 minutes? I can't prepare. And that you have to exercise patience, because if you're going to spend that amount of time with each other, you've got to trust each other. You've got to get along. And even if you don't necessarily like each other, which is a shame, it happens, but you're not everyone's cup of tea. If you don't enjoy each other's company, then you find ways to manage that. So for anyone going on tour, particularly along, just be personable, be a friendly person, try and give as much as you take, and exercise patience. It's always good if you can get along with each other.
Fantastic advice. Thank you, Jason, for that. So I want to move on from this to Inspector Calls. Obviously, you mentioned studying filmmaking and going to that. So tell me a bit about this. I've heard it was made on a budget of £4,000, which is incredible for certain hours. I think 660,000 views when I checked this morning on YouTube. So tell me a bit about the process there.
Yeah, do you know what? It's been amazing. I was never expecting 660,000 views. I haven't checked it in a while, so that's a really cool number to hear. It was £2,000, so it was even less.
2,000. Sorry.
No, it really was. It was, when I say micro budget, I mean it was nothing. It was nothing. The people that worked on it, I really do love them to bits, because they put in so much work and they gave up so much of their time. And the only thing that made that whole project work was the fact that people were willing to, give me their trust and their time and their resources. And I still don't know how I managed to do that. It's funny. I look back at that, and of course, there's things that I'm like, oh, I've improved upon since then. We could definitely do better now. If we had more money, if we had more time, if I had more planning, whatever it was, But ultimately, we did finish a film, and that film has been a bit of a calling card for me, because it was, in essence, my final project for university. And there was lots of adversity. There is a behind-the-scenes documentary if anyone wants to really hear more about the story. It's all on YouTube at Inspector Calls. You can check that out. But in a brief sense, it was a student film that I challenged myself by saying, you know what, I want to make a full-length film, because go big or go home.
Yeah.
And everything was made out of resourcefulness, necessity. I had a location, and I had a handful of people who think help. And I looked at, we've only got 4 months to make it, so how do I do this most efficiently? We landed on Inspector Calls because the elements of it meant that we only needed 1 costume each, 7 actors, 1 location. It all made sense. So so with everything to our availability, we were able to construct this film. And then we had some attention from festivals, but mainly I chucked it on YouTube because, it's a free resource. It's a film. And if nothing else, I would just like it to be watched by the audience. And that's all a filmmaker can really ask for, is to have seen what they have made, because that's what it's all about. I never expected, because it's been up for about a year and a half now, I never expected it to have done as well as it did. And of course, yes, because these film festivals this year has awarded feature for January, so ultimately this project that was born out of nothing has actually made some big strides. And I think that's something that says a lot about a project, when you have the lowest expectations of something, and it just, everything is a pleasant surprise. So I'm very grateful for everything.
Yeah, I think it speaks a lot to your attitude as well, as an actor having to work very hard. You could have done a short film, you could have done a 10, 15-minute film, to go for a full feature, and that's very admirable, and it came off fantastically. So I encourage everyone to go and watch that. The link will be in the description below, as well as all Jason's IMDb's, Instagrams as well. So make sure you do go check that out. So your most recent project is The Voodoo Man. Now, to people that haven't heard of this before, give them a quick summary of to what The Voodoo Man is.
Okay, so Voodoo Man is the shortest film that we've made so far. It's 5 minutes. That's all it is, and it's just um, a story about a man seeking a remedy to get rid of his boss. He comes to visit this mystical um, man of mystery that living in the jungle in this little shack, and that's face to face with our character, the Voodoo Man. So um, that is, it's a bit of a funky story actually. There's something just very simplistic in the idea behind uh, man comes seeking a remedy, and here's this mysterious man. What he got in store?
No, it is absolutely fantastic. Is this still available for people to watch as well at request, or?
Um, private links are available to select people, but we are obviously having a premiere screening, which is again, we mentioned the London Independent Film Festival. So we're having, that is our first cinema screening of the film, and that's the 21st of March, which tickets will be available if anyone wants to come and join us in London. And essentially, we're going to hold off any sort of release until we've done the festival run, we've seen how far it can go, and then we may get a public release on YouTube at the end of the year.
Fantastic. Well, so with this, where did the idea and the inspiration for Voodoo Man come from? Is this something off the top of your head, or it's something you've been working on for a while, or just come to you?
I think it's a mix of elements. When I was challenged with writing it, it was specifically for a competition, which we had about 6 weeks to make a short film, and it was all surrounding lighting. And we took on the challenge. We thought it'd be a fun bit of creativity. The inspiration specifically for the story, I think that came from, first and foremost, this year they had Joker film release. Joker is a very chaotic character that wears face paint. I sort of drew on elements from that. And then I've always been somewhat inspired and fascinated with the Mexican holiday, which is the Dia de los Muertos, the Day of the Dead, every year. The artwork, the imagery of the skull face paint and the bright colors and everything on that was also what I drew on inspiration. And if you watch the film, you'll notice that my character has a Spanish accent. So there's lots of tie-ins to where I drew my inspiration. So it's been a few years, and it's sort of a couple of elements that came together for the sake of one moment, which was the competition.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned the lighting, and it's a fantastically atmospheric short film. It looked beautiful, so it really is great. Now, you've obviously, it's very different being an actor to being a writer, director, producer, everything on set. So when you're an actor, you can, let's be honest, be a little bit lazy in between takes. If you're not shooting, you've got a new phone and update your socials and that sort of stuff. When you're doing all of these roles, it must be so chaotic. Tell me the differences and how many sleepless nights there are when you're making something like this.
Do you know what? You really do. You touch on something. I've commented recently about. I actually love just being the talent, because there's so much less pressure. Ironically, the crew has to deal with so much, and having done filmmaking now alongside the acting really does give you a much wider appreciation of the process that comes into production. In terms of certainly Voodoo Man and Spectacles, the amount of work that took to bring it all together and then have it, formed on set. Suddenly you're thinking of three different minds. You've got to go, what's happening behind camera and in front of camera. The difference really is just that instead of coming with everything you've prepared personally, you have to come with everything that you've prepared broadly. So out of being the director and producer as well as the actor, you're going, okay, I have broken down every single element that comes into this. If anything goes wrong, I have to fix it, or I have to dictate someone to get it fixed. So there is a massive amount of pressure, and suddenly your workload comes from a week of learning lines to 6 weeks of buying set pieces, props, building set, storyboarding, writing notes on a script, deciding, oh, what needs changing, who's going to light it, who's our crew, how are we going to feed them, who's going to edit, how's it going to edit, who's going to move it, all of it. So, yeah, you touched on something there which is really key. But at the same time, and it has to be said, the amount of stress that comes from that extra work is very rewarding, because ultimately you end with a product that you're very proud of, and you feel like you've accomplished something so much more significant having made it yourself.
Absolutely. I mean, you touched something there as well about the talent, and how really, I mean, it's what the show's name, Talking with Talent, because one of the things that sort of grinds on me is the fact it's always the actors that are called the talent, whereas really it's everyone around the set. Every person on set has the talent, and without them, the actors would just be standing naked in the dark with nothing to say. Because that is everyone else that makes it. So you say obviously you've seen a different side to it there. Is it something that you're looking to do more in the future with the success of Spectacles and Voodoo Man? You clearly got great talent for it. Are you looking to pursue it more, or are you focusing more on the acting, or just seeing what happens?
I really want to pursue it more. It's rather addictive, actually. It's funny how the pain and the heartache of going makes you want more. We're currently in the initial idea stage of the next feature, which I like to think of as it's going to be my debut feature. We've got little projects in the works, some short films that we're sort of doing sidelines of, and obviously any acting work that does come up, I have to take advantage of it, because you never know when it's going to come or how much it's going to come, etc. But you're ultimately being as proactive as possible in this situation. So no matter how long it takes, I will be working on my debut feature from now, and hopefully we'll have filmed it by the end of this year. But if not, it'll be next year, and then 2022 we'll be looking at some sort of plan in the works.
Brilliant, absolutely. Well, good luck with that, man. I hope that goes fantastically for you. So obviously you have been nominated for the London Independent Film Festival, and you've got the screening. How much work goes into trying to get a festival run together for a film?
The festival work is very difficult. Obviously, we've been working on low budgets. I mentioned that Spectacles was £2,000, and that was a full-length film. That was difficult. That comes out of your own pocket most of it. With Voodoo Man, I think we made the film for about £850, which again, is mega cheap. We don't make films for that amount. We're reliant on volunteers, and one day we will have a budget. The highest rates we can give them, because we want, we really do. But in the meantime, we have done volunteer projects. So we rely on the generosity of others and the kindness of strangers. And it's the main factor that comes from festivals is the financing of it, because although people don't know it, to get into festivals take a lot of money. The actual submitting process involves a fee. And every festival costs £30 to £50 just to put your film in for the opportunity to be selected, for the opportunity to win an award. So what we've been doing is we've been asking for donations towards our fund, which is on my Instagram page. There is a link in my bio. We're asking for people to give donations. It really does make a big difference. We could have submitted to 5 festivals out of our own funding. We've actually been submitted to about 35 festivals, which has been significant difference. So, we're very grateful to has donated already, but the people who have really believed in the project have helped push it forward, and hopefully that will so far, just in the last month, we've had one festival selected, and I am torn to see another festival. There's another announcement coming soon.
Okay.
There is more success to be made out of it, so we're really excited about all of it.
Fantastic. I mean, I must stress to people, I have seen, obviously, I know Jason, but for £850, this film is incredible for that budget. It really is brilliant. So please get in contact with Jason and have a little look. Have a look at the sponsoring, the GoFundMe and that sort of thing, because it really is great. And as Jason said, there's already success. So I think that's only going to continue. So Jason, thank you so much for today. I've really enjoyed it. I'm going to put all your links down at the bottom as well so that people can get in contact with you. So you've got your IMDb, your Instagram as well. You've got your YouTube channel. What's the best way for people to contact you? Is it Instagram or?
Instagram is the main platform. I'm always very active on Instagram. So if people leave me a message, I always get back to them at some point. It may take a day or two.
Yeah.
I always do get back to everyone. And yes, thank you very much for having me. It's been a pleasure talking to you and talking about all the hard work you do.
Yeah, no, absolutely, Jason. Like I said, you've put a lot of hard work in. You're getting the success you deserve. So thank you so much for coming on.